Okay. Not good enough, I suppose. Ow. Stuff. Let's check what's in here. Let's open this. This book is an account ledger for the keeper of the dock. Most of the pages contain lists of goods coming in and out and the locations where they were sent. Most of the supplies that came through there were sent to the main research halls. On the last page, strangely, the record keeper includes an informal note. Sugi Island has been barred. Now we leave. Many supplies are being left behind. I've not explicitly listed them since, by the time we return, many of them will have spoiled or otherwise been made unusable. A fresh list must be made at that point. Daphne, Kurata, and Danette boarded a boat away this morning. All were upset. Kurata especially. He arrived late and we feared that he may have to be secured. Something was odd here, but it is none of my concern. I know much of what was done here. I saw the presentations, I saw the results, and to whoever come here later, whoever read this, I want you to know this. The leaders were angry when Sukia was barred, but most of us, we were not. Our leaders see the glory, but they do not see the risk. We are all sad at what is being lost, but we are glad that Sukia has been barred, and we hope it remains ever so. Bandrick. Oh, wrong. There's a servant mine hidden away in this small dank room. It is bad shape. It looks like some people recently spent some time tormenting it with stakes and rocks. And he tried to heal himself, ran out of energy, went into hibernation, but our food will die before too long. You open one of your jars of nutrients and slowly tip the goo into the creature's mouth. While trying to regain its strength, you clean and tend to its wounds best as you can. Eventually it returns to the conscience. It is weak and in great pain, but can't speak. Thank you, Saber. Thank you for saving me. It is more than I deserve. I am Mind Strout. What shall these dogs? What is your purpose here? I was made to watch over these dogs, to keep track of numbers and goods and such, and to look after things until the shaver's returned. I spent much of my time in the absence sleeping. Then the shoreline came and I woke back up. Well, this was where they landed, at first, with the ships. I knew they were outsiders and had to kill them, but I was weak and I was not given the capability to fight well. I sent our spies, tiny creations, to watch them, and I tried to develop strength and ways to fight them. Then they saw one of my spies. One of them, called Varia, she came to me. She questioned me. She saw I would never help her. So she had a warrior beat me. She did not grant me death. She thought it might be useful later. So they tormented me and left me unconscious, and I would have died were it not for you, my Jaber. Varia is dead now. Does not sadden me to hear it. When the area, it was a small dock. Supplies were landed here. This is where supplies destined for the research halls were taken. Then everything was barred and closed. Now it's a ruin. There are guards watching that boat. Very dangerous guards. Not so dangerous. I've been killing a lot of them. I'm glad. What can you tell me? Nothing, I'm afraid. I did not need to know about them. That'll be all. Oh, wait. Jars were broken recently. Of course they were. This reminds me, we should probably tell the rebels that the guy's dead. Just thought of that. They might want to know. Might be kind of relevant to them. Once again you see humans in Shaper lands, but this time you're unable to control your rage. I'm sorry, what? So, because I used the Geneforge, I am now insane, huh? Why does that happen exactly? I'm kind of curious. What is the explanation behind this madness? If a rewrite happens and it gives you power, as far as I can understand, the whole issue stems from the fact that suddenly people couldn't do anything before, gain power, and that the whole gain of power has itself an influence, a psychological one. That's what the guy was talking about is a psychological thing. But if that is the case, shouldn't there be a way to be resistant to it? Resistant to the temptation? Then again, it's told me my character was insulted by their being here from the start. Which I will say annoyed me. I don't like that game telling me, especially a role-playing game, telling me how I think and feel. That is something that's up for me to decide. Oh, that's that boat. Wow. So yeah, let's leave. You get onto the boat and release the rope. Then you grab your and push off from the dock. It'll be difficult to wreck the mast and figure out how the sails work, but you're confident you'll be up to the task. There's no room on the small boat for any creations, so you depart alone. The product of your skill wait behind on the docks, watching you as you leave. Bye! I'll try to come back with a bigger boat! Until then, you can just play poker or something. Don't worry. Soon Suki Island starts to recede in the distance. You have escaped. However, an uncertain future lies ahead of you. With difficulty, you pilot the small craft away from the dock. It is an awkward process at first. You've never piloted a sailboat before. Still, after some trial and error, you're able to get the wind to catch the sails. You depart Suki Island at last, setting course for the mainland. The island was not as remote as you imagined it. It is only 50 miles from the nearest shape or settlement. 50 miles and 2 centuries. But a day you arrive at the coastal settlement of Dilame. There are dozens of shapers there working to tame this wild coast, populated with friendly fauna, and make it safe for settlement. The eagle greet you, curious about where you came from. You tell them. When they find out that you have come from a barred island, they are worried. They insist that you come with them to the regional capital where you can answer for your actions. You tell them what happened to you. You tell them that you know great secrets and that the Geneforge has given you great power. You don't mention that the Geneforge has been destroyed. Maybe it'll be easier if they think they can have the power too. They treat you like you are mad. They try to force you to come with them. Your changed appearance and your obvious power scares them. They try to control you. You start to get angry. Then they try to put shackles on you. You get angrier still. You feel the power rising within you as the insects trying to control you. For a brief time, you try to simultaneously resist them and control their power. A tiny voice in your head tells you that something is not right, and then the change is brought by the Geneforge silences that voice forever. You spread out your hands, and the power flows out. Yeah, you know what? When a guy comes back, has glowing eyes, radiating power, and says, "I found this machine that has changed me into a superior being!" Your first reaction shouldn't be, "Okay, you know what? We're gonna cuff you now because we don't like you," because that's bound to piss people off. The small settlement is no match for your rage. It's robbed within minutes. Use the library to learn secrets and the essence pools to regain your strength. Then you begin to form your army. You know the truth now. You know what will happen. You know they will never accept you, never accept your power. The fools, the small-minded ones, they'll fear you. They'll never let you have peace. But the world is young. There are many unsettled areas where you could create your own lands. Lands which would benefit from your great wisdom. Lands which could flourish under your total control. With a wave of your hand, an army of fierce creation appears. Then you set off into the woods. Okay, admittedly, that sounds kind of like me. Behold! Michael the Emperor has been reborn! Bow before me, mortals! I hope I'm a good ruler. I don't know. The Shaper Council soon hears of you and your deeds and your madness. I don't see it as madness. I'd see it as ambition. They soon figure out where you were, what happened to you, and what your intentions are. They're very afraid. However, the envoys to Sugan soon find that the greatest fears have been realized. The canisters are all gone. The Geneforge lies in ruins. Your secrets are gone. The only remaining beneficiary is you. After they slay the rest of the Sholai, shit. Sorry, dudes. They send agents and guardians after you. They all fail. Crushed by your might. The Shaper Council soon realize that you're too strong for them. You formed your nation in the wilderness, populated by creations, your creations. And of course, a high positions will immediately be granted to the three who have benefited me the most and been loyal companions to me so far. Evil Scrooge, Hat and Cloak, and Failbird, you will all be the highest among my creations. Granted special privilege and power for your service to me. And it has been long overdue. What would you constantly having to serve as meat shields for my former inadequacies? You live under your you under your absolute control as it should be. Your kingdom lasts as long as you live. And you live for a very, very long time. Ugh! That was a sudden thing. Back on Suki Island, the very Serval's village struggled to continue as best they could. When the histories of these turbulent times are written, we mention a few details about the minor players of this great drama. In Vikiri, Ella saw his peoples changed in the tumult caused by the Shaper Wars. Your people were too distracted by the carnage to punish the upstart awakens. Good for them. Ella led his people to the mainland and into the unsettled lands. There, the awakened founded New Vikiri and insisted on dealing with the Shapers as equals. They had things to offer the Shapers in their war. Ella's Tinkers learned well of the Shaper arts, and their contributions were a pleasing help to the Shapers during their struggles. The Awakened earned their independence through diplomacy, persistence, and hard work. Their life in the wilderness was a difficult one, but considering the alternatives, they never looked back. See? Not only did I create my own great kingdom, or empire, whatever you call it, but by doing so, I also benefited people who deserved it. I never noticed that these guys had so long noses. Huh. When the wars began, Riddell realized that he could wait no longer. For though he knew that his obeyers were supposed to wait on Suki Island, he also knew that his creators were in trouble and needed help. With great difficulty and a painful period of trial and error, the obeyers built boats. They returned to the mainland where they found a Shaper colony, explained the situations, and offered to help. The Shapers of the colony were thankful for the additional forces and yet unnerved by the strangely independent nature of the forces. They didn't bother to inform anyone in authority of the arrival of the obeyers. Instead, they put Riddell's servants to work, and when they could, use them as front-line fighters in battles against attacking creations. By the time Riddell realized that his people were being ill-used, many of them had been sent away and many more had been killed. It made him very unhappy, but he believed deep in his heart that the will of a Shaper was best. When the Shaper Wars began, Norrell saw her chance, and in their heart, the servants of Kask lusted for war with the Shapers. They longed for revenge. With difficulty, they managed to return to the mainland. There, they looked for opportunity to battle with Shaper forces. A long guerrilla campaign began. There were years of great hardship for Norrell and her people. The Shapers were distracted and weak, but still dangerous, and many of the takers died. They did not have the strength to make a real difference. Eventually, their grief and fatigue overcame their hatred. They went out into the wilderness. Norrell helped them form villages, plant crops, and start their lives over. There they lived, blissfully forgotten for many, many years. Good for them. The finest flowering of the powerful arts of the Shapers took place on Suki Island. The Shapers, however, could not control the powers they created. They tried to harness it, then they tried to hide it, then they tried to forget it, then it came back to haunt them. Eventually, the tumult caused by the discovery of the Geneforge died down. But the secrets of the potential were known. Even after it was gone, people knew that it could be. The story grows quiet, but it does not end. You cannot unring a bell. The end. You know what? All in all, I was not unsatisfied with that ending. So, that was Geneforge. What did I think of it? Well, it's a pretty good game. I like the combat system. I find it very intuitive and fun, though kind of annoying how easy it can be to accidentally click wait if there is something like behind the unit or something. I like the setting, very original. Apparently it was supposed to be sci-fi originally, but then it was changed to a bit more fantasy, and I think the setting is richer forward. Certainly very different. And the story is all very interesting, raised some good questions. Now, the story itself, as it plays out in the game, has a few problems. First of all, when you interact with people, there are a few times where you have a real choice, a chance to say something to people, but it's very binary, either or. Are you the stump people in the mud shaper, or flowers and peace and happiness for everyone shaper? So yeah, I complained about that before, but I kind of want to bring it up again. And as I said right here, there's times where the game tells me how I feel. That's annoying. You shouldn't do that. Also, a lack of clearness in the whole canister things, like, is it really just because you get new power, or is it just insanity per definition, or whatever? Apparently in the next couple of games, the thing is that apparently depending on how many canisters you use, it changes how you can behave. So I guess that's how they work around with that. I guess they would have to rebalance things a bit then for the next couple of games, because in this you really do need the canisters. I can't imagine how you would do without canisters. And as for the story, again, in the middle part of the game, where it just felt kind of like running around to new places, killing new people, and then moving on. Not a lot of role-playing or interactions or anything, really. So yeah, middle part was really slow. But all in all, it's a good game, and I look forward to see how they progress, how they do things, and I'm kind of sad. I'm very satisfied with the ending. It's a good ending. I liked it. So yeah, this has been Eric Cobra, and this has been Let's Play Geneforge Blind. See you all around.